Friday, TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. We want to welcome you in this beautiful edition here. This is Lpr-Tv Live with the Analysts. I'm Alfonso Z and Salt of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. We want to welcome you. If this is the first time, we say you are wholeheartedly welcome under the roof of the Diaspora Informative News Outlet. Broadcasting this beautiful evening. Time check here in the East Coast is 8:08 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Welcome, man. Mumble is marching on to Zion. So Mr. Sly is in the house. Madeline to Robertson is here. Joe is in the house. Say good evening. Thank you for being here. Pay is in the house. By the way, just hit the share button, the icon right there. Just bam, 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 bam. Trust me, it's not going to cost you anything. It's just a matter of extending the live link to other folks. You can share in a group, different groups with your friends, and just invite them as well. Let's have an evening conversation. So let us go into emotions, different forms of interpretations, people, how they understand it to be. Everybody saying and talking their own. Those who defending the defenseless and those who protecting their own alligators are all there because they are the same people. So everybody got to find some sort of dry leaf or stick to hold on because they want to make the case. But what do you think as a Liberian? And what should happen? Now we know these information is coming out. It's quite interesting. Listening to the chairperson here, he sounds much more definitive. I know what alleged was used, maybe based on the information that is currently in their possession. But my question is, what would be the end game? There are a lot of people being indicted, and some of them still moving around here. So what the hell is going on? Are we doing this to just get some sort of public attention? But people, if crimes are committed, those who commit those crimes, whether it's an economic or financial crime, they must be held accountable, and there must be a price. Bottom line, that's it. But we'll wait and see. We are not going to be like others and just sort of, how you call it, they get in their feelings, they get in their the emotion kicks in, and because they know when crime is committed. They are told they have committed a crime, so they know the consequences of crime. But this is unacceptable. And so we will get in our show, we'll get in our real human self and give it a conversation. We are not here to exacerbate or entertain you in the sense that you will be distracted from the reality, from keeping focus. We are not going to add any layer where there is no need for a layer to be added. No. And so we need an honest conversation. For another time. My members, if I don't start with me the evening, I come with time. Tell your own, I will tell my own. But good to have you here, Mr. Crowman. So it's always a pleasure. Helena is here. Gerald Diamond Bassie is in the hall. Gerald, good to have you. And my man TZ is here. Every day, get on the stuff in our country. Trust me, this one here. But before you come to money again, another Tabata will come. It's not a surprise. I didn't see this as a surprise. We have said that. So what I'm looking at here now is we're getting little tape They are yet to be verified to whether they are the authenticity of it, but we are getting little information how they are getting to this point, and some of the conversations that were held inside, folks are telling us. But of course, we'll wait and see. We are hearing potential names in those further names. Will those names surface in line with what we are hearing? But we want you to participate here this evening. Otello here is in a house from Fargo, North Dakota. Mr. Colo, how you doing? Good evening. Good to have you here. I hope and everything is going well with the family and everything. That was a beautiful and great wedding. I enjoyed our wedding, man. I ate until I couldn't even do it from North Dakota to Minnesota. I couldn't even put anything in my mouth. We are doing great, Helena. Thank you for asking, and I hope your family are doing great as well. So I will try to open the line here tonight for us to have a conversation to exactly what's going on here. For us to have a conversation of what is going on. It is very, very, very much important. We should not leave this discussion with us, any media institutions, stakeholders, all of these people having these big, big press conferences. It's just too much. But we all have the responsibility to have this conversation, fair, balanced, proportional, and let us discuss it in the interest of the countries. If you're Seditian, pour your red barrel down. If you're UPs, whether they're green or blue, they are using different barrel. Put it down. If you're ANC, you don't get barrel here. You're trying to find one. Put it down. Let's look at holistically the country to what the country going to benefit. All right, and what going to be the outcome. I just do not want to hear people being accused or say they are corrupt. And at the end of the day, I know there's a judicial process, and that process must be fair, transparent. People must be given their day in court. And if the court says this is a decision, then of course the consequences that come with it, that must also be applied because that's what the rule says. But when you come like that, you open Coca-Cola and you can't spill out like that, and then the next day swear everything gone on, then it's just a waste of our precious time. And this is not what I want to see happening. In the first place, we rewarded bad people. We rewarded people with bad behaviors. We gave them authority. It becomes our Antonin. They are lawmakers, they are policy makers, they are decision makers, they are administrators. So you don't expect those people to prosecute themselves. That's the difference with we in Sierra Leone. So when I see this sort of thing going on, they're like, but wait a minute, why should you be surprised? We rewarded people of their behaviors, and these people we tell them thank you for what they did to us, the economic sabotage, the looting of our country, the abuse of power, the war, the crime against humanity. And we allow them to be representatives. We allow them to be senators. We allow them to close with state authority. And you expect those people to prosecute themselves? Can you do that? Let's be honest here a little bit. You can. And I will not even do that as well. But then we want the magical part to take place. All of us what Sierra Leone saw and say, you know what? People who did certain thing, you're not to go no closer to no power now yet. You're not to get nothing. You Salonian, but you're not gonna get anything in this country because you that don't put this country. By the way, I was in Sierra Leone too. So the Le Creole is still there. We had a great time there until the crazy guy crossed over. Then we all becomes a hunter guys and we went on our heat again. So now we're having these fabulous big conferences. Let's welcome my man, Zian Poor from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Zian, good to have you here. Welcome under the roof of LPR. Thank you so much for joining us here. So we have this. So now you see the sedition defending their own. The UPS will defend their own. The other group will defend their own, and it will go on and on. But I'm looking at the long term, the implication, what could possibly, and I forecast more indictment will come into place because When you haul rope, rope haul buoy. When you haul this one got one. So more testimony going to be coming. And it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. And if it doesn't look good, it just doesn't look good. And you're going to start pulling things here and there. We'll hold our breath. We're going to have a conversation. So I just want you to fully participate here tonight. Because other people say, wish on, this is, that. All right, we got to listen to people, what to say, what to think. It is their view. You do not have control over people's perception as how things going and how they see it. It is their own country. We must just exhibit our tolerance to have this critical, painful, and national conversation. I don't have to agree with Zia. I don't have to agree with Diamond. I don't have to agree with my man Zia, but I must listen to her. I must listen to him, and equally, fairly, listen to me. I must have that tolerance to have this conversation. This is LPR, and I'm Alfonso Zia, and so I will be right back. That's the sound that introduces the program here on this network. This is the Liberia Public Radio, live this evening from the Ocean State of Rwanda. In the meantime, tomorrow night, I'm going to do all my tabata. Tomorrow night, we're going to be Osa. The Poo Twins, they are here for their inauguration board. The welcome ceremony is ongoing, but tomorrow, the real duo of the town will be outside. Too much work without a playmate Jack, a dog boy. So tomorrow, pleasure, leave my phone. We gotta go there. They tabata, they won't do this, that. We're not gonna mind all of these things and lay your blood pressures and cholesterol to go over the roof. So we'll go, we dance, and we'll come back with all talking. How's that? And that's how we're going to do it. So let's take this commercial break here for travelers, those of you who like to travel. And by the way, if you get a business here in USA or Liberia, any part of the world, whether it's in Baghdad, whatever it is, we also showcase people, tell people's story. And part of that is for you to kind of like advertise. We don't want to be coming here begging for money. Because some people you beg them, they give you $5, and they carry your need way to Liberia. So what we like to do on this network, and this is why we doing everything possible by ourselves to make ends meet to sustain this network. 11, 12 years now to get this going. It's not easy, but it comes with commitments and ultimate sacrifice, and that's what all of the folks here are doing. So if you're a business person, you're having your conventions, you're having an event, it doesn't matter where you are, whether you are in the USA, you are in Liberia, you are in Canada, when there is no way, we will find our way. We can come there. We want to render to you a community service, and then in return, you give us some little catch. I think that's fair. Nothing for free. I thought I was going to be like, the perception that I have, maybe people you can get farm money, or you can go to any used car and buy $300. That was my thought, but that's not the case. So it means we are in a world that is involved in services. We can't just keep asking, let me render you a service, and whatever I gave you, you pay for it, and that way it is what it is. So if you are travelers, take a note of this one here.
Hey you, it's time to pack your bags. The world is calling. From the skies above to every corner of the map, explore all 7 continents with journeys designed especially for Europe and Africa. Whether it's a cruise, an all-inclusive resort, a hotel, car rental, theme park getaway, or the perfect excursion, Ayana's Dream Escapes brings the world within reach. Adventures start here. Don't just dream, escape. Book now, visit our site, scan the QR code, or just call today.
wasn't just a dream, but escape. Welcome, my man, Clarence Davis, aka rescued number 2 or number 3? They get a rescue in Liberia to get here. Now, rescue mother is in trouble, more or less, with the law. We will wait and see what happens. This new book today, and the conversations is going explosive, crazy on the social media. But in the meanwhile, we say the Pooh twins are here. Let's play this here.
National president in America. Guess how, you know.
Hey, get ready. Putu sons and daughter, the wait is over. The Putu Apodiabo in the Americas Incorporated presents its 2025 Grand Inauguration Ceremony. Save the date. The event is happening this November 8, 2025 at Joan Pablo Duty, 100 Niagara Street, Providence, Rhode Island. John, the United for Development and Community Empowerment Movement, as we celebrate unity, culture, and leadership the Putu way.
Meet your national president, Madam Tina Wehrman, and Vice President Samuel S. Harper.
The interesting news is, be inspired by our guest speaker, Dr. Steve Bodie, as he leads the vision and shapes the future. Don't miss the powerful voices behind the mission.
Beatrice Union, Board Chair.
Annie Dennis, Installing Officer.
Harrison Todd, Secretary General.
Hector A. Collins, Financial Secretary.
David Guzzi, National Treasurer.
Pastor George Tato, National Champion. The ceremony will be hosted by Mr. Isaiah Fadi, host president, and Marian Sayer, host chairlady, bringing elegance and energy to the stage. It is not just an event, it is a celebration of our identity, progress, and pride.
Catch the Rami with DJ Mix, love with our national queen, Miss Konda Sherry, and celebrate our culture with Putu Affordable Queen, Marie Nyanambo.
And don't forget, Tumin Kabwe, inaugural chair, and Philomena Tui, national chairlady, will lead this great occasion with grace and unity. We are proud to announce that tickets are just $50 for members and $25 for guests. Come, connect, and celebrate the strength of the Putu Affordable family. Don't forget, the event is November 8, 2025, Providence, Rhode Island. Be there when culture meets community. Putu Affordable 2025 inauguration. United we stand, together we shine. This message was brought to you by the Putu Affordable in the Americas Incorporated.
There you have it. The Pooh twins are right here this evening in the ocean state of Rhode Island. Our understanding, the welcome ceremony is ongoing. We also, in fact, by the way, that's the national president of the association, Madam Tina Wehrman, is based in Fargo, to North Dakota. But the host chapter here, right here in Rhode Island, is hosting that event here. It will be a colorful event. All the weave going out of the stock here in Rhode Island, the eyelashes, fingernails, everything now. You go to any Ghanaians or whatever Nigerian store, they out of weave. All the color, the green, the purple, the maroon, more red, everything out of stock right now. So tomorrow it won't be easy. I will go there and I will capture some, hopefully. I'll try to go there and capture some images and just get them all listed here. Librarian text me. Okay, so it is what it is. That's what's happening. You know, as we talk national issues, we need to come home to our community to see what is going on. But today, in the West African state of the Republic of Liberia, there's a commission charged by the president, the sitting president, His Excellency Joseph Newman to Boakai. You know, that had the BBC or VOA guys are called Boakai. Commissions that were set out to recover, to go anywhere and find any assets or anything to wrongfully done to government, to state resources, took the stage today. We are hearing more names to come. We start getting to what it means for our country for 2029. I'm saying 2029 because the 2029 conversations have already started. When we in 2025, and people are not focusing on what people will get now, but we thinking about 2 years to come. This is absurd. So one of the persons in the center of gravity in this whole conversation now is the cohort Nora Finabono. Nora Finabono is the protocol former protocol officer to His Excellency George Manning Weah. That's the former president of the Republic of Liberia, chief of protocol. That is huge. That is significant. And this is where my conversation is going to be going here as well. The implications and what next, what we're going to see ultimately. Nora Fenabono, the former chief of protocol, executive mentioned to the president. But the guy responsible to execute this case is Councillor Edwin Clark Martin, is the chairperson of the asset recovery team, the anti-corruption reform group in Liberia. Every mission, the president for short, a rep, whatever could call it, he mounted a podium today, and he was very forceful in his argument. He was illustrative. He really tried as much as he can to build the case on the commission's work. Indictment keep into place. But interestingly, if anybody you monitor today, the word alleged was not deployed into his conversation. To an extent, they are either criminal, sometimes they are criminal. That is it's like people were already convicted, and that was quite interesting. But likewise, some of the most captivating parts, I'm talking about me, I'm not sure whether that is important, but I look at, I watch it, I listen to it, and I try to make sense the basis of his argument and where he was taking it. To one extent, in his argument, he said, oh, JFK should have been there. So it's like putting the public, evoke the presence of the public. The reason you see JFK like that, the reason you see this one like that is because of one person actions, and they think they want to amass their own wealth and put the interest of the public becomes less. But let's listen to the counselor in his case, and then we can have a conversation. So let me see here what's going on. I go change thing around here today. I can see somebody should be here. Okay. Oh yeah. Sarah Collins is here. That's the political to Reverend base. Why I can't go put a liberal thing here? It's just tonight. It's not a liberal night. I see why my man Roosevelt said a Tabata night. Why I can't go put liberal, the chief of Tabata on this network? Why? How can I get his banner up here? What's going on? Liberal, please. I want to be nice to you. Okay, this is it. Okay, let me bring in Terry Collins as a senior analyst of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv /Reving strong supporter of President Jose Nyuma Boakai. Am I calling his name the right way, Terry? Boakai or Boakai?
Yeah, you calling the name the right way, Mr. So.
You're looking happy this evening. What's going on? Share, bring the G's.
Looking happy?
You're looking happy. You look at Clarence.
Well, I'm always excited. I'm always
welcome rescue too. So yeah, just
hey, Clarence David, man, what's up, brother?
So you see, so why is that a rescue mother? So I don't know who is the rescue mother, rescue entity. Why you're a rescuer and you want to kind of putting rescue mother in jail? Don't you think you're going to answer question to the Holy Father? Terry, good evening. Let me welcome you. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. So, the examiner himself, the CEO of LPR, and to our guests, our mighty listening audience, and also again, we want to extend our condolences to the Liberal, to Mr. Toe, the Toe family, for the loss of his son. And all of that,
yeah. A holding down the Liberal, there are certain things when you're so used to when you're missing like that, then you're like, The liberal one, he wants to come back there. I said, "You're not coming nowhere. Take time.
Yeah, you need to move a lot.
I have a break. You can come back. But part of that is what we sign up for to do. And I know where I understand where he comes from. We are doing everything possible to give him a bit fitter better and everybody support. You know, and probably that will help in the interim because sitting down and all of that. I know it's a tough one, but I think the family, the
Yeah,
people,
sometimes maybe when he come on the show, maybe it will help to
yeah,
when
yeah,
he's
yeah.
talking,
But
maybe it will help to.
yeah, I try to. I'm next to him. I'm next, to him in a few days. But I told him, that's not going to be the leeway for you to think you come and do Tabata thing and you think you're just going to go like that. So yeah. So but again, the liberal is strong, and I want to say thank you to Dr. Malley. He sends initial contributions for the loss of the labor. We're going to be announcing potentially. He really wanted to get it done quickly, but this tradition, the old people, and all of that, when they jump into and when they say no, you who try to honor, they're not even going to do anything. And they say no, we're not burying now. So when you say you can't pay the cost, they can't pay a boss. They know the longer the body stay, the mad then they can't.
The more
They
choppy.
not even want food in my say, you don't make me bring asset recovery people down there. You need no food in my yeah, man. Yeah, everybody, people want to eat. So, well, you can't hear. You try Tapata. He not need money. He do that. So the yeah said no. The man here we're gonna do that. But our prayers and thought goes out to the liberal progressive. The family is a tough one. It's not easy to someone to just lose your child like that, age of 40 something. That's it's crazy. That's tough. But I hopefully you're gonna be back soon. We're just trying to set a few things, and then when those things are settled, then he can come back. Probably that will help to release some of the uh, stress. But Mr. Collins, good to have you. How is Minneapolis, Minnesota? The weather cold there?
Yeah, the weather is getting cold. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I've not hit the 0 point yet, but it's getting cold. 30 something degrees already, and yeah. So in the night it can be cooler than that. Like right now it's 37 degree. It feels like 31. So obviously it's gonna be by the 15th to the 21st. It's gonna start dropping below 0 degrees. So we expect that to happen.
Roosevelt say you're happy because just a white guy came by home with zero. Where you going? But the biggest news of the day, we all woke up as usual. We expect the unexpected. Social media is the press conference today held by the Assets Recovery Commission. It was so much in details, but we're waiting to see what happened. Let's share that they are saying it, but in order to add value to our conversation, we want to share some of the things, and we can have a conversation. If you have your own tabata, of course, as usual, you're going to bring it. Clarence is standing by now to add up to your tabata and all of that. That is okay, and we're going to activate this line here. But I'm thinking beyond of this indictment, what possibly going to come up with. We're getting some little hint of some of the things that happened before even getting into the spotlight. We hope to maybe share that. But in the meanwhile, Terry, let's take a little peek of what happens today at the headquarters of the Assets Recovery Team, set up by the President of the Republic of Liberia to trace and fund all government assets in and outside of the country. Let's watch and see.
$100 million. This, based on the findings and conditions as mentioned, investigation also realized that in this transaction, several persons were involved into deposit and into credit. Several persons were being used as agents of that syndicate to move suspicious money. And all those agents that were involved, we have held them as co-conspirators of the act of money laundering. We have other companies that were involved. Masako Auto Spare Service involved in the sale of motorbikes. By and through its general manager, Sir F. Johnson Sr., was also involved through our investigation. He was captured of moving millions, thousands of dollars in the account of the Wafina Bundle through Anita and Anita Business Center. He has also been captured by our investigation. And subsequently, based upon that, an indictment was drawn up by and through the Republic of Liberia Asset Recovery, and the grand jury came up with a true bill, holding them culpable for the crimes to include Nora Finabono, Anita Pamela Jala, CEO of Anita Group of Companies, Francis Blambo, Sir Johnson, and 40 others for the commission of the crime of money laundering, theft of property, misuse of public fund, criminal conspiracy, forgery, abuse of public office, and violation of the Public Procurement and Concession Act and the Public Financial Management Act, the PFMA law. As I speak to you, the indictment was served this morning, and from my intelligence, one of the co-conspirators in this proceeding, Mr. Edward Pompo, who worked at the Ministry of Commerce, has been arrested and now forwarded to the Memorial Central Prison. And said he can file his proper appearing bond to the court in keeping with law. Also arrested was Sir Johnson of Masako Incorporated. And he has also been forwarded to Memorial Central Prison from my intelligence I've gathered from my officers on the field. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, Liberia is at a crossroad. This is not about witch hunt. This is about time that we all take full charge of our country's development and to ensure that Liberia regains its dignity in the community of nation. This is no time to waste. We got to take on corruption head on and to ensure that all assets stolen, suspicious, that are just acquired in the twinkle of an eye, you have to give an account. And that account is not through violence, it's not through witch hunt, it's by the due process of law. The second of our case has to do with MDMC, by and through its CEO, John Ubuti. On September 12, 2023, John Ubuti, who served as CEO, entered into a renovation contract of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs by and through the acting Deputy Minister, Panatelma Duncan Sawyer, who signed for and on behalf of the government of Liberia. Investigations show that the implementation and the execution of that contract was poorly done. We acquired Mr. Ubuti and his company due process, but they waived the right to appear to answer as to the variance that we developed and captured from our independent investigation. To do that, we hired a private firm to do an independent assessment of the entire work that was done on the building. And reports show that the amount of $851,136.13 cannot be accounted for.
That's how it started today when the chairperson broke the news to Liberians, viewers, and other folks with respect to the work of the assets recovery. That is Consular Martins right there. But then it came a time to where the back of the camel was broken. Let's watch this.
Okay.
Go to the recovery property. This property is situated and located in Broadway. This was acquired by Madam Lorofina Bundle, and we have all the deeds to this property. The value of this property at the time, undeveloped, was $73,000 United States dollars. But now we are about to conduct an appraisal of this property. This property was developed from 2018. For 2018. And you can see the current trend of the property. This is the first property that we have captured from as proceeds of money laundering done by Madam Dorofina Bundle, Familia Anita Jala, by and through the criminal syndicate, through fictitious company Anita Group of Companies and Anita Business Center. That is the first property there. But the current market value of the property will be developed through the Library Revenue Authority, which has the capability to do so. So this property now is a proceed of crime. So it's under our spotlight. Let's go to the second property. This property has 12 units. The property has 12 units, as you can see. And this property was procured in 2024 at the value of $137,000 United States dollars. But this property was just developed in a year to be at this stage. So the current market value of this property exceeds the purchase value. And this property is also a proceed of all the transactions that were conducted criminally. Let's go to the other property. Okay, this is the Terrier Estate. The property also, the value of this property acquired in 2022 of $120,000. So all these properties were acquired in the period from 2018 to 2024. 2018 to 2024. The value we are giving you, that is the cash value paid for the land. But the cost of to develop the property will be done subsequently to that will inform the press. Let's go to the third one. I mean the fourth one.
Let me see here.
The fourth one now had to do with Gracious Ride. Gracious Ride, the number of texts is 42 pieces.
My Lord,
and the total value, not considering the profit they made in transportation, we're also calculating that. The total value of the property exceeds 400,000 United States dollars.
Yeah,
so we just want to give you a picture that I was running behind yellow taxi, I was running behind old rotten cars. No. The press now can now understand the level of work and the level of investigation we have done over the period.
All right, let me see here.
To show you all these properties that are not given only by heart, but we can substantially say that we have evidence linking Madam Bono, the company for which is.
Okay, let's. I know we are saying this here. Let me just get this thing first here. Okay, let's have a conversation. The man with the expertise when it comes to this, he buying new Air Liberia. He said we should start collecting money. Terry, Terry, he messed mobile new Air Liberia. You want to think that kind of tell why you want coming up mobile Air Liberia. Playing get behind there. I know who will be the pilot. Okay, so guys, good evening, good evening. We all listen to this, we all watch this today for the most part. Either it was live or went back to see it, whatever it is. There are a lot of illustration here. The guy with the expertise, our security analyst, Moses, is here to help us out to walk through some of what this guy said today, what he exhibited. If that is the end of it, he said enough now that somebody will be convicted or sent to jail because there were some specific words he used. Let's have a conversation. Is the news that Moses, good evening, welcome.
Good evening, CEO. How are
you? Good.
Why do you have problem with my Air Liberia?
No, I won't blame him, man. The man that I saw for Air Liberia no here until we can't get anything and you not can bring other Air Liberia now, so we need to know to make sure now. So okay, Terry, let's kick it off. First come, first serve, because let's see what happened here. I believe you watched all of this today, right? Yeah, can you unmute yourself?
Yeah, I watched it today.
Okay, so I'm not gonna freak out because there are a lot of over 400 cases of people being indicted. I'm not saying what really it is. They're saying you will go around and I come back. I want to see the end result. They go to court, and if they are convicted, something must be done. People's stuff must be auctioned, government mistakes, but it's time, and by the time we go, lawyers go there. But let me get your instant reactions, and I'm going to get to you. There are some other information that we are getting from inside sources, people familiar with the case, and some of the potential names to be dropped. Is it something that will cause one of the party to go down here? We don't know yet. We're going to hold our breath. But quickly here, welcome Mr. Prince Dubbard of the Prince Dubbard Show. Good to have you here, Prince. So, Terry, let's see. What your thoughts on this today?
Yeah, so I think the asset recovery is trying to do something that we all must acknowledge. You know, after people said that they were weak, they're not strong, they couldn't do anything, the asset recovery is doing what they were made to do. And, you know, whether if there will be no indictment, but as it stands, that is where the asset recovery team came in. And late before the Liberian people, these allegations, my thing is, if the sedition say is not true, can they tell us who own those properties? Can they do the background investigation now to come up and debunk the asset recovery team to say, oh yeah, this is the deed for so and so property that Martin say is owned by and by Fina Bondo. This is the deed. This is the person who owned it, backdating all the way, because every land you get, every property you own, obviously the archives have the history of that particular property. So if you're claiming that the man is wrong, the man is lying on Vinabondo, blah, 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 pull off the history, pull off the dossier. Let us see what, let somebody come out to disprove that, no, the property the man pointing to is not for so and so person. If for me, this is my deed. You see that? So the man went further to give us evidence, projected that you cannot say this, that. So you already have these ones. You can do your preliminary opinion investigation as a political institution. The cards are there. If this is not so, these are things. Now, the question should be, how much was Finabondo making? If Finabondo cannot deny these assets, then the question will come into mind as to how much was she making with President Weah over the period of 6 years, and how did she accumulate the properties involved? You see, because there are a lot of unexplained assets in Liberia that cannot be accounted for. You see, so we will be hoping to see. Somebody was talking about how the president, the president went to France, he didn't do nothing, blah, blah, blah. He came back with him. When you recycle information, it's not good for you. It's not healthy for you. It's like you just cut and paste. You hear something on somebody's network, you take it, you run with it. Ask yourself the question. President Weah went to France to Macron. Macron gave him $10 million. Same Macron gave him $10 million. What happened? What became of him? The $10 million he said it was invested into youth program infrastructure. Did you see it? Can you prove anybody who benefited from the $10 million? And $10 million, a president asking another president for money. It gave you $10 million. What can $10 million do in your economy? So it's like you begging a president of another country, you begging him. He take $10 million from a pocket, he give it to you. It shows your level of insignificance. President Boca did not go to beg Macron. He went to establish. He went to create the means. The man is a farmer. The man went to, a farmer is very patient. They make the bed and they plant the seed and wait until a year result. That is what farmers do.
Let me hold you there, Terry. Yeah, let me hold you. I don't know why you allowing, because it was a simple question. Joy, we are 10 million, Macron agriculture. I don't know why you got distracted. The questions, I don't think the team is not questioning that these property are other people's property. The process in which those property were acquired, or how transactions and all of those things, that's their center, that's their argument here. But let me just bring out to Moses with the background here. Moses, this is perfectly suited if it's in your lap in terms of this conversation. It's going to be a long one. We're going to look at everything up and down here. You listened to the press briefing today, right?
Not in this entirety.
Okay, but for the most part, you got some pieces from there, right?
Of it.
Yeah, and I was very key. There was specific word. I didn't hear him using allege. They are criminals. They made specific reference where he said JFK should be up to standard. But see, what is that? That is just getting the public to evoke the presence of the public, for the public to sympathize or whatever it is here. But when you see something of such like this, and they accuse, it looks like she's already been not accused. It's already like from what I listened to the chairperson, like already she has committed a wrong. She has committed a crime. She either going to go to jail or something based on the language he was speaking. The little piece that you listen to, what investigators, if somebody speaks in that context, in our way, you with the security background, does that mean the case has come to an end, or what next we should be focusing on?
Well, I'm hoping that this process would take a very good course, because you see, there's something called case law. Every time you bring a case to court, when you go through the adjudication process, you can refer to it as a case law. And then it can go in the books, because you can always go back and reference it in other proceedings that may come in the future. So for me, I think that the you know, the practice of looking at mob justice or citizen justice and putting all the evidence out, I think it defeats the purpose of trying to adjudicate cases. We always look for public opinion before we take it through the processes in Liberia. And I hope that this is not going to be wholly politicized as far as the political parties involved. I hope that they can look at it individually for the crimes that were committed and prosecute the crime. And I hope that they've already done their investigation. They have the evidence. If you're going to go indict somebody, you must have the physical evidence. If you don't have the evidence to prove that the person cannot be indicted, so you must have evidence to convince the court that this person needs to be indicted, and the charges that is brought against that person. Let not confuse something that have been a normal practice in Liberia. They've gone out and prosecuted civil cases as though they were criminal cases. And I know that there were few people, I know few people who fit that category. The case was criminal, was civil between two entities. Then it ended up being criminal case in the court because the plaintiff knew somebody on the bench, and the bench just went and said, and that person on the bench just said, arrest the person and lock them up, like they actually committed a crime. And so those are the things that I'm looking out for. We don't want to be in a position, and no country is exempt for it. Recently, we saw in the Comey case here, where the judge gave the prosecutor till today because they indicted Comey, then they went for pre-trial, preliminary hearing, and they didn't have the evidence. They had not given the evidence to the defense attorney. So the judge told them on Wednesday, you got to get to Friday to actually give the evidence to the defense, as the indictment of this man is going to be null and void. It's going to be thrown out. But I have yet to hear what happened with that situation today. So for me, as I see it, I hope that they did their investigation and they have evidence to prove the criminality of this, of what all they're talking about. And they say they have a huge list. If they have a huge list, then that's serious business, man. It's not a simple thing. It's not a simple thing. It's going this case where all of these folks that are being named or allegedly going to be named, they're going to go through. It's going to be a long time to
Okay.
adjudicate it.
We're going to have an equal conversation at some point in time. We'll open the line to get the reactions of our follower viewers to also add up. We not want to do it like other people where they incite their own feelings and emotions or some sentiment. This is not what we're going to do, because my concern here, there are a lot of people being indicted, but the outcome of those indictments, we're yet to see how it plays out here. But I'm a little bit concerned here with the language used by the chairperson here. Personally, as a Liberian, as someone who is following this, and he being kind of definitive. Yes, he has everything to his chest, but I think some sort of self-personal feelings of stuff was incited. His language, the way he was talking, he was very crystal clear. These people, they are criminals, proceed of crime, given justification. That's what he's supposed to do, to give backing of his argument, proceed of crime, that things were acquired wrongfully, violations, illegally. That's what he's saying. But to come out, they are criminals. It's already, they have not gone through the court. You are just doing, you are performing an executive task.
Exactly.
Right. And at the end of the day, whatever it comes our way, it should be taken to the court. It is the court that has the authority to either vindicate or vindicate those people to support them crime. They are criminal, they are that, they are this, that. But that did not happen. Now, And other people will see, okay, things has been exhibited, properties, this and that. That's not just auto A. We need to know and how those properties were acquired, what other thing, but there are a lot of things there. So Tara, let me just bring you in here. And of course, that the accused to have the right to get her day in the court. Whether we agree or we do not agree, there are a lot of things happening here, of course, that require explanation from her daughter, who is also a foreign within a chief mission for her name to be in there at the time of her age, working with a foreign mission, where that other money came from, corporate signature, meaning you are the authorized person.
Right.
So how if her daughter is there like your co-sign for people, or of course you get your child already, child is under age, you put them on your insurance, so you are aware. But I'm looking behind the glass ceiling. All of this here, who gonna be the one who, where would this whole ball land? And that comes to in play with the former president. This is the protocol officer. You have former government officials who are part of this process now, are also assigned these things. So I'm wondering here, what would be their part, or what was the conversation here with those people? Is somebody making deal here, and that there will be no disclosure? It's quite interesting. Terry, let me just bring you in here. How significant to this whole thing here? And we're going to tie it with the politic aspect of it, because we are getting some information, more names to come, and some of those names are hierarchy of the former ruling establishment. Are they watering down the main opposition's strength before 2029? I said this thing here a long time here, that's it's gonna be a trouble. Now is Finabono, who works directly with the president, who have close authority with the president, who the president perhaps sees before he go to bed. Now she's not a national security, but protocol officer, regulate the activities of the president. How serious, how worrisome it is to even the president, because now when you are indicted, you're not going to be traveling. There are going to be restrictions. You're going to be monitoring. Now the surroundings of the president now is being gradually being disabled. It reminds me of Samuel Doe, Grady Allison, Patrick Minicon, and all of those, right? Who are, strong confidence of the president. When those people start being moving, we're hearing you, Lane Eugene Nabwe might come into the picture. We're hearing Jefferson Cody might come into the picture. Perhaps the 40 will be that. It means the president is vulnerable. How significant to the opposition with respect to what happened without us getting to the court itself, whether these people are going to be convicted or vindicated? Chief Inabono.
Mr. So, Unity Party has a history politically of bringing down the major opponent. I'll just put it that way. They did it to stop our name Charles Taylor. They went for him and turned him over. And that weakened the whole political structure of the NPP. Thereby, the NPP today died a natural death. They also went after Judith Bryant, the late Judith Bryant, and weakened his defense. And within the period of a year, we heard Judith Bryant was no more. He died and he was buried. Political structure must be able to counter their opponents from a position wherein they have legal backing. And I think in this regard, the Unity Party is playing that political card if we want to talk about politics, because this is a stray bullet that could hit the president, the former president. It's a stray bullet that could hit the former president. Because and I think that is what investigators do. I could be wrong, Mr. Sigbe could help me in the process. That is why they're going for the big fish. So even if they can get Finabono to confess, to do something, become state witness and confess, say, oh yeah, this was the mean thing and the mean thing was this. And I can show you the various properties that we got out of this, blah, 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 from allegedly the former president and all that. You could tie the whole thing into one bundle and nip it in the butt. And thereby, the opposition is weakening. If they can get hold of the former president with evidence backing, it weakens the opposition to a greater extent. And I know that United Party is good at that politically. But legally, yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead, Terry. Sorry.
Legally, they have to be legally, if they have all the evidence to prove that this is what it is, like you just said, the little girl, we've seen her flamboyant lifestyle on Facebook. We've seen, because these people are kids. But so if they have those things legally to persecute, then it's also something good for the country. But like you said earlier, what about the other cases that came out that have not been persecuted? What is the delay and all of that? Maybe this one, the evidence is broad enough that they can lay hold on it. Because again, Fina Bono them were careless. They didn't follow, they didn't learn from the wise, the older people who went through that same ranks and file, got property, how they got it, where they are, for government to not trace it or find it. They were not listening to nobody. They were not talking to nobody. They were not communicating with nobody. They felt that they were on top of things. The people that you see that have properties in Liberia that got it from through government money, some of them got farms and the family are very rich. They pass through certain procedure to do those things so that they cannot be traced. But you just carelessly handle yourself in kind of way that you don't understand. How you think other people like the American Liberia picking and got big farms in the country. That government money. But there are certain ways they tie those resources that you cannot easily trace. But again, this is Liberia. So on the political side, the Unity Party, they doing something that I really don't want to talk about. On the legal side, the Unity Party also is, Clamati, and you raise a very fine point. For Clamati to start going ahead further to just start saying stuff, like, oh no, the people stole or so when you have not yet indicted them, I thought that was premature, but again, that is what they do. And to Mr. Sigbe there, I think it is well in the confine of Clamati's position to give information based within the scope of his measure. He didn't give details up to the case. He came up and told us the same thing what the GSC does, the same thing what almost the LACC does. Even though he had a press conference and he was more personal than what Mr. So said, but he was giving us information in regards to what is pending, which I don't think that could be a problem.
You said something critical here, and we're getting more details. This thing potentially it could be ugly, and they should be careful how to move around. It's a very good process if it is open and transparent, and he's doing a professional job. But for he to just forget himself and throw some words out there, no professional investigator is going to do that. You speak on a neutral, on a blanket view and say your job is to do this and turn them over. And the history you say with Unity Party, those Moja boys, there's something called prosecutions and persecution. They don't usually prosecute because when you prosecute, it goes through a legal process. But when you persecute, you disgrace people, you kind of bring them up in the public, you demoralize their characters, you made them shame, like brother said, you disgrace them. What they do, they slam, and then it comes with the legal aspect. That legal aspect is a gradual bit by piece. It can go 1 year, it can go 2 years. That's a political tactics right there. Because when your case is in court now, everything about you becomes stagnant. You're not going to do anything. You're not going to move anything. I am worried, not really worried. It's not something that I'm going to be thinking about to give me blood pressure. But the former president, White, I said it here, those funds that was given more or less, now the foundation turned to a foundation, over 700,000 were given, those are state money. Will she be another person? And if that comes into play, it might not come now. You're not going to go for the big fish. Like I said, you're going to be cutting those branches little by little, come closer to election. Then the real board grab. When a real board grab, what that does, it distracts the elephant himself because you're going to be focusing on the legal side of your plan. Moses, let me just bring you in here. Is that how the kid little by little, put it in the bag and feed it, but you're not putting the water in the, you're not putting the hair in the tub yet, little by little. This is one of the strength, the secret of the Unity Party.
Wow.
Is CDC in trouble here?
I can't speak to that when it comes to the politics. I'll leave it for the reverend to make those analogies. And
good.
but I'm looking more at the legal side and the legal proceedings as far as what needs to happen. I don't profess to be an attorney, but you see, like the people say in the country, when I in the interior, when I used to go break wood and I'm looking for rope to tie the wood, as I pulled in the rope, it pulled in bush to me, right? It pulled the whole thing to me. So when you go for one target, you never know the other tigers that are surrounding that one target will be involved in it because it can exacerbate to something else. But let me say this to say on the other thing, the legal aspect. What is the legal age to sign a consent document in Liberia?
That's a critical question.
Okay, because
Which-
I understand in law there's the legal age of signing a document to make it a legal document at a certain age. A minor cannot sign a document and that document become legal. So these are questions that will be asked during the adjudication process. And I hope that, these guys have already done their homework when you're coming up with all of these allegations, with all of these documents with signature on there that profess to say they have a child name on the document, where that child is not, that document is not legally binding document. You see, so these investigations, and that's what I said, the judicial process, when you do some of these things sometimes and you do these press conferences, I think people are quick to do press conference. I don't know, it's the new way of life in Liberia. But when you do a press conference, you're involving the public in there. So you're looking more at public opinion and public sentiment. You're trying to build public judicial system. And that's not good for criminal cases. Because if they go through the trial and they take and they say we got to go through the trial and they need to have a grand jury hearing, it'll be difficult to find somebody who would sit on that jury box and be objective. People are quick, and Mr. So, you are right. Certain exposure are not supposed to happen, and you got to be very careful as someone who sit at the top when you're making these kind of remarks, especially with pending cases. The cases you coming up, all these people will be indicted. Okay, if they have not been indicted, that means the case you haven't proven it, you haven't given anything to the courts.
Right.
You haven't given anything. You can't say you can come and say all these people will be indicted. You already putting yourself out there, and
Quickly here,
that's what
I
they
have
call.
to interrupt. Quickly here, from your security perspective,
Uh-huh.
do you think he exposed himself to danger as well?
Yes, it could be a witch hunt, and you have the right to go and say this is a witch hunt.
No,
Because
I mean the counselor himself,
yes,
because he went out there. The way he, these some of the pronouncements were made, making reference to JFK. I personally feel that was a crazy thing for he to ever did. You kind of like evoke the public into it when you should be doing a professional job, information that you gather and that you're going to give to the prosecutor for because you for the government to
yeah,
make their case.
yeah.
You're not why that part there is like to evoke the sympathy of the public.
You see,
Why JFK? Why specifically JFK? There are other institutions that need help. Why
precisely.
specifically JFK was made reference to? I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't know why
But
he
let me
did.
say this. Let me say this to you. When you have such an investigator doing these things, and they got to transfer that to the AG's office or the Solicitor General office. The Solicitor General office treats those documents as something they bring in and they go and research the law to determine whether a crime was committed and whether they can prosecute the crime. And they got certain amount of time to do that because you go and that prosecutor or the Solicitor General, whoever it is from the AG's office, need to convince the court that they have enough evidence to prosecute, to go through, and they will present the evidence. And when you go to an indictment, that document is supposed to be turned over to the defense attorney right away. Right away. So you preempt that this is going to go through and making and inserting other things. The AG's office can say, listen, this guy already tainted the case. We can't go with this case. And I can tell you something. There are people who will deliberately do that because they don't want the case going forward.
They don't want a case going.
They will violate certain part of the law, and that the AG will say, I can't go through with this because the case is already tainted. We can't prove beyond reasonable doubt without this interfering with it.
Before I bring into it, we've been talking to sources familiar with this case. There have been a very, very heated some argument. Certain people wanted to withhold certain documents, and other people said no. People try to be protective of one of the accused, Telmont Dunking. And when it came to the case of Bono, there were a lot of uncertainty, and we said this was sort of kind of put out there. If one is to be protected, all must be protected. If all can be protected, if all of them can be protected, all must be put here. How true this information is something, but when you take it back, when you digress here a little bit, some of the bitterness that went on, with the equipment and from the soil time and all of those things, there are a lot of things playing out here. Terry, moving forward, what are you looking forward? Now, the 40 names, he was very definitive. Those names now got to surface. Media, I hope the media are going to, it's no longer a secret. Yeah, you got to put it out. Who are those names? And we are getting some information, some of the names embedded in that. Those are some top folks from the opposition side. What kind of lawyer do they need now to come to this point here? This is gonna go on for a while. But the idea is, if Finabono is indicted, if the Brinking Lane Eugene Nambwe, there is widely been hearing from the insider close to it. More or less, we are in Fina is out of the country, to around Turkey or whatever it is. It means Interpol now, the same thing they did to Samuel Toure. In fact, was told this evening there are a lot of money now being seized across the country to where some money has been kept. Hopefully they're going to come to that. We're waiting to hear it from the house's mouth. So meaning Interpol now is already in it, because you either report yourself or whatever you're saying, you can be intercepted or being arrested. Now, with that said, how soon do you think this chairperson going to come up with the rest of the names? 40, that's significant, that huge. They are talking about people signing this, they are doing this. My guess here, they have talked to a lot of people. So it seems like there are some people from in the CDC has flipped to give these people some really concrete, real information to gather these documents. And one of the stupid things, the defender, if they did that, because of course that is true, for her daughter, somebody who just, these people, they don't get sense. They do things. 100 people, they do things. That's a different with these Concord boys there. The reason the Congo Party can tell people to take
why you gotta go there, Mr. So?
No, listen. What I'm saying,
other Liberians, they gotta be country of Congo.
No, we are different category of people. The way of doing things and our way of doing things is different. I'm coming to my point here. Let me just say, you can talk your own. I can talk your own. The reason they can say take Rabbo and Robertson name is because tomorrow that name when it's attached to you, right? If it goes to one of their cousins, they say, oh, that Uncle Robert saying that, oh, that Uncle John there. That brand name attachment is there. They give recognition. They will give you a pathway. They will recognize you. They will do whatever they can do. It doesn't mean that I'm not saying they can't steal. I'm not saying that they can't do it, but it's a sort of an identity that gives a pathway to say, oh, this guy here, this is Uncle Robertson's son. This is Jefferson's son. They will accommodate conversation. Whether you be accepted, but it's a pathway. There's a reason they're doing that. But our people, they don't. Can you imagine this girl they send? Is that the only way to do it, to send her as an assistant chief of mission at that age? Now, you whole class saying as a corporate signature, it means you are the authorized holder of that. So, what was the rationale for she who is employed to be a corporate signature holder to this account as it's being reported? I don't know how the document, I'm just making an argument based on what I heard. And for somebody who at that young age, that just whatever graduated, and you're taking her, making her chief of mission and all the assistant chief of mission, blah, 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 and you're putting her in that situation. Come on. Terry.
Yeah. So to answer the question that Mr. Sigbe asked, I'm reading here 21 years old. You're legal. By that age, you're supposed to be able to sign permanent document according to our laws. But Mr. So, what are we looking at from the political side is where I think I have a little nitty-gritty that I want to add, spices that I want to add to the cake here. You know, from what I'm seeing here, if my guess is accurate, is a strategy to weaken the opposition. And like we've been saying all along, right? Your CDC standard bearer is not a politician. He's ignorant to the political demographic of Liberia, you know. And here is the thing. He sat down there. They removed his speaker. He was not in the country. And all the CDC tabata that be on, who did they jump in? The things that they're supposed to take important, they don't take it important. The only thing they will jump and say, oh, 2029 will win the election. 2029, when you don't know what Unity Party is working on, you get no clue on what the people are working on. You just jump in. 2029 will win the election. The people were successful in removing your speaker. You did not fight back. Instead of you retreating, reconsider your base, formulate the opposition so you can come together to fight back. You all went and started some kind of funny looking thing to Mr. Comey play from there. Everybody dispersed, just start talking different things. They were able to successfully remove your speaker. You did not fight back. You did not achieve anything from there. And what they are doing now, Mr. So, is that probably they are paying people that are close to the CDC standard bearer or the CDC in totality to give them information on all these properties and all of those things that were collected. I want to believe money is being spent. And those people that they give you money to, you know, they are also being protected because they too, their hands were in the cookie jar. So the people will tell you, say, my man, if you don't talk what you talk, we will expose you too. But we can still back you, we can defend you, but this is the information we want from you. And once you start giving those information, you're done. Wow. They're going to go after everybody that they know that there are information that have been given about them that cannot be denied. And that is how you weaken your opponent.
Okay.
What made Madam Sally It was because Madam Sally was able to weaken Charles Taylor. That one, Madam Sally was not afraid of CDC. Her fear was Charles Taylor. She went for him, the boo. You talking about 2029. Then you talking Tabata jumping all over the place. Oh, every now and then you in the news. Every now and then you saying something. But you are not even together. You're not even organized. So now the battle is at your door. How are you going to fight it? How are you going to fight? To just be jumping on Facebook talking, oh, you did, you died, the other. The people dealing with you with the law. How are you going to fight this? That is what they need to be thinking about. You know. So
okay, let me go to Moses. I think Terry point out something, and it's going to be tough for them.
It's my background for me.
It's well, it better done something you. It's going to be tough, and potentially that what we could see happening because Unity Party, these Moja boys, they know how to get things done. As Tia said, that they're going to slam these people with court issue indictment, the case can go on 3 years, 4 years. That's another way to
Thank you.
disable a movement of your president. And that was I think, the former president, even like recently we're talking about, there was a lot of things going on. Unity Party people wanted to intervene, but seditions on the other side asked to say no, the president, the former president, because these soundbite could be taken into the public space to get out what to do. So, by he coming out early to make this sort of proclamation, when the incumbent, more or likely you see is they didn't really have a backup fallback strategy to kind of keep them in isolation as to what he wants to do. But he start coming back, you get one, especially Africa. It's not like America, one president at a time. And they know you are a main opposition to come up with this pronouncement and start doing this. The man still there, you want his job and seeing what is coming there. Oh, is this guy coming back to pay that? Then, of course, what they're going to do, they're going to put some locker in place to kind of hold you down. And part of that would be the law. And when the law is applied now, the court, when they read it, they would just drag it and drag it. And when you are in court, you're in court. You got to wait until the court time comes. Then it makes you inactive. Your surrounding, when you can't travel with FINA, when you can't travel with maybe where Ninsa Karabu, the other shop man, who is the chief of staff, who knows? Yeah. The former foreign minister.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kenya.
Yeah.
And who know whether Kalasco then going to come? Who know who going to come? So they kind of like make you vulnerable. Do you think you have a concentrated mind to focus on politics on people who's supposed to be your tax bearer? They're dealing with court cases, spending money. You're no longer in authority. It's crazy though. I'm going to be putting the line, or let me talk to you. Go ahead quickly, and we're going to put the phone line.
Yeah,
also, we
just
can have people
real
to
quick in respond to what the Reverend just said, Brother Collins just said, and I'm hoping and praying that his own analogy about weakening the opposition and going after the opposition to weakening them through this process, I hope it doesn't backfire. We got to understand, in proceedings in a court, they have court etiquettes and they have ethics, okay, in the court system that's supposed to be run. I mean, Liberia should be no exception, but we know what the practices are. And there are certain things that the court need to live by when it comes to court proceedings. So if someone is targeting another person based on what you just said, I think in all indication, it's going to be tough for the court to drag this on. And like I said in my initial statement, we're talking about 40 individuals. This can drag on for years, even past the election process. Because we're looking at 4 years, we're looking at 400, okay, folks, or 40, 40 or 400 folks. And we're talking about a lot of names that are going to roll.
Yeah, more than that.
Individually, those cases have to be addressed individually. They can't be addressed collectively under one jurisdiction, one case. So they're looking at all of these people individually of the crime that they commit, alleged crime they committed, or their interactions. So we're talking about the Justice Department or the prosecutor, and I don't think they have the capacity to prosecute all of those cases together. They got to look at each case individually. You cannot cluster anything under one name and say, okay, we'll put all the defendants together and this is the case. They have to do it individually. And that would take a long time. If they're doing this to weaken them, it might backfire on them because you cannot hold people hostage and stop their movement over a lengthy period of time when you're not pursuing your case on them. You see? So these are things that the court will have to discuss. The court will have to decide on. And they need to be very careful. And these are things that can taint the present administration whole piece of saying that this is totally a witch hunt. And you can lose respect within your colleagues of leaders in other countries by trying to do this. So I'm saying they got to be very careful on how this is going to unfold. Again, it's going to be a lengthy process, and people shouldn't expect anything overnight, any adjudication overnight to decide. And we want to see the names of those people. And I bet you if it comes out tomorrow, they're going to start putting some question marks to a lot of things. And again,
But
it becomes public sentiment.
They did call some name. The CDC treasurer.
Yeah.
Name is there. The CDC treasurer. There's John Ando Yoboti, who happens to be.
Yoboti, yeah.
Yoboti,
Yoboti
is a construction company.
Construction company. He's
Right. And he's the one facing the. Thank you.
To that place, and that's a serious business. So that means that construction work going to cease.
And that is why Mr. So was saying that he used a certain language. Martin used a certain language that made it to look like it was personal and political as well.
And you see, that's what I'm talking about.
When he started making decision and conclusion that the man should not be allowed, that every contract he has should be dropped, that these people should not be allowed to work so like what Mr. So was saying made it personal. But something I wanted to say, Mr. So, when Unity Party, first of all, Mr. Segbe is saying some fun thing, but Mr. Segbe, this is Liberia here. In Liberia to fight, in Liberia to fight.
That's problem. That's my problem. When it's this Liberia, I mean, we are different animals.
We are already removed ourselves from the reality of a real-time situation.
Right. So here is CDC strength. They had the speaker who was going to contend with the president in favor of them. The speaker was removed. They had the Chief Justice, Sienna-Yo, who defended them because Sienna-Yo were nominated by the president, the former president.
Yeah.
Today, Sienna-Yo is no more.
Yeah.
The men are there.
The problem with the age where that age you can't face it, so you gotta go.
Very close.
So the men are there now. It's for Nima County. The vice president is for Nima County. I'm just saying, I don't say anything before they carry my name.
But you said something.
But yeah.
They're rubbing and twist the Bible around.
Man,
I just say, I don't say anything.
Now the Bible we're talking to them.
Now when you can preach on the pulpit?
Mr.
When you can preach on the pulpit?
No, they're not. They want to not preaching. We're not. But I just say this to say that, we gotta look at things and be careful with our country. I agree with you, Mr. Sigmund, because tomorrow if something backfire, you never know what it may go. Because you still got plenty of people on the docket that you have indicted, that you have not persecuted. They all go into court every now and then. What is the value? What is the use? So I'm not against it. I'm for it 100%. But I think if we're doing it, let us do it with clarity according to the law.
You see, and the other thing is that we still got the Capitol burning case pending.
More breach over troubled water. That's what we're talking about here. More breach over troubled water. And and the government of Liberia, they got a history of real delay in getting things done.
Well,
so
it is.
And they just put it out here and you're gonna make our jaw, you're gonna give a headache, we'll be talking. And it's just something. And just getting a message saying what's gonna happen potentially, they're gonna secure a bomb.
Yeah.
And then you're not going anywhere. I just said down here, you're not gonna go to court, you're not going anywhere.
Well,
and they're there.
But Mr. So, then we face another challenge. 400, all of these people, you give them bill. You don't have nobody. We have over 4,000 borders that you can walk in and out of Liberia. Who's gonna monitor these people movement? How they gonna monitor these people movement? What the sophistication that country has to do that?
We'll use your plane behind you, Mr.
We'll watch it. Are you buying plane?
This is gonna be very challenging. very, very challenging for the judicial system and the administration.
Very challenging.
Very challenging.
But you know what's going to happen?
Huh?
It is justifiable, right? And the Supreme Court said the docket is crowded, is packed, and so for pre-trial, so if it's that situation, it can go to all from now to 2029. The docket will never that will never be clear.
I suspect
You
it will
can't
pass
go anywhere. You sit down, get somebody, you went to Kmart, lay away, you pour fire down, and you can't go back until 1 year, 2 years before you get out there.
Exactly.
But meanwhile, you quiet. And you see Samuel 12, the moment he show his head to Thor, they call him to the court again. You quiet. They subdue you.
You being quiet it can be so damaging.
That's what I'm saying.
To the other side.
You in a political party, you can make no significant gain politically. You can't say nothing politically that will come after you. So it's a silent way to treat the opposition.
I hope that's not. I hope that's not their intention.
Myself, I hope that is not. I'm just guessing. So
yeah,
people,
I pray that
take Terry's word for face value. I'm guessing. I'm predicting.
It's not going to be good.
It's just an opinion.
You see?
Yeah, okay.
It's not a fact.
No, I got you.
That's how the UP surrogate. You know that a liberal song. He start predicting now. He predicted. That's the only prediction.
I'm not
liberal loves him so much.
You're not independent. Come on.
He's a predicting pastor.
I'm part of the independent voices on Lpr Network.
No, can I?
Are you sure? When you start being independent, when you start being independent. No, but I don't know. It's
Mr. So, let me ask you a question, and Mr. and Collins. Have you guys heard anything about this man who was supposed to be traveling to Liberia? I think the deal is over. Did he make it?
The guy that the U.S. wanted to turn over to Liberia.
That was going to turn over to
well,
let's
get the caller. Saturday is on the line. Saturday, good evening.
How you doing, Mr. So? Hello to the two gentlemen on the show there, Mr. Simwe and Terry.
Okay.
How you doing, Sunday, brother?
There you go.
Yeah. I've been listening to you guys about let's say now the asset recovery, their progress, the thing that they are making by indicting other people. But according to what Terry was saying over there, if that is what the Unity Party, if that is the thing that they are doing, I am concerned that that will bring a chaos in Liberia. They need to follow through with their procedure. Let it be transparent to the Liberian people that we should know that these people that have been showing to us that they misuse public fund. Let it be very transparent. But if they are doing it for political reason, then I'm sorry, there will be a chaos. So they should know how they are proceeding.
Okay. Are they? So what are you suggesting? Are they proceeding the wrong way as far as you are concerned? What do you think?
Well, I just think that according to the press conference, the chairperson of the asset recovery, I think he overstepped the bound. People who have the authority to declare somebody a criminal, it is the court. It's not a security person or the person who found out a crime being committed. The court has the jurisdiction to justify whether that crime is committed. You cannot come as an investigator or somebody who did a fact finding. You cannot come up to just declare somebody as a criminal.
Do you think that helps? Do you think the opposition they were capitalized on that? But what you make of what Terry said, which of course is true, because the removal of the speaker, that was the gradual process marathon to disable the surroundings of the oppositions, and unfortunately, they didn't realize that some of them got into it. We are hearing there were a lot that was done in terms of what happened behind the black curtain to get to that point. Do you think the CDC missed the ball here?
Well, I think Terry partially, but that right there, it tell people that are on the offense. They say I'm not a sedition. And when the election was in process, some of us supported the present president. But after we see the illegal unseating of a legitimate speaker, we started being we started having some concern why this should go on. The Pop said he came to listen to the Liberian people. He tried to be transparent. Why is it that he tried to unseat a speaker and moreover this speaker at the time, every bill that he wanted to push through, the speaker was not an obstacle. So why is it that they really unseating the speaker from his position? And that alone, none of Liberians are concerned about that.
Including yourself?
I especially, yes. And from that point of time, I know that there will be a lot of stuff that is going on. It's the I would say the mantle or the type of prestige that the present administration came with Liberian getting to know that, hey, people were sitting and we had a liberator. We coming to liberate Liberian people. That I especially feel that that's not the case, because there are a lot of things going on and there are a lot of corruption saga going on. Even the top mountain that came out to start speaking from his own from the asset recovery, you find other people broke away, people that on his team broke away, accusing him of corruption as well. You know the story.
You say, Mr. Saul, let me just say something real quick.
Hmm. Yeah, go ahead.
My
Well,
concern,
1 second, Sally. Let me see what Moses said. Maybe if you connect with you, you want to respond. Yeah, go
yeah,
ahead, Moses.
yeah, I have a problem with the whole thing that we're talking about, this leadership on seating the speaker. When the facts are clear, number one is that those opposition to the speaker who, when they had the vote of no confidence in the speaker, were majority sedition. And the speaker, the second speaker at the time, who is the former speaker now, knew that very well. So how can this be turned around? They own it, to the present administration trying to unseat the speaker. Is it that the present administration went and paid off the sedition who were against Fanati Kofa at the time he was seated? Because they started the movement. They collected signatures to unseat him. It wasn't from the opposition. It wasn't from the sitting administration. So this thing that is going around, that this administration was successful, we didn't hear that when Edwin Snow was kicked out, when Alex Tyler was kicked out. You know? So why is it that the focus on that? And I think that one of the things again that really baffled me is the fact that this case has come to a standstill, the speaker. The burning of the Capitol, the people's building.
That's what I was talking about
It
here.
has come to a
The
standstill.
argument, the
And so
Supreme Court.
this argument that the administration did that and this thing has come to, it's gonna really harm everybody. It's gonna harm
Moses,
everybody.
Moses,
It is.
There's a long history, long like a rare sea of the government of Liberia. Deliberate action to delay is employed
It is
to
just
get it to make you
appalling to me.
tired, to make us tired. Because what has happened, those guys, people, when you're indicted now, you can't go anywhere. Your movement, everything being seized. If you have a passport, most likely you're going to surrender your passport. I don't know, I'm sure of that. But once you are indicted, there's a limitation to the movement. You can't travel out of the country.
Well,
That
that's
is okay with
not
them.
true.
So it makes you it shuts you
That's not
down.
necessarily true. If you are indicted, the people tell you you're going to come to court, they give you bail. If you have a flight risk, if they think you have enough money for a flight rate, then they can restrict you. But if they know that you're going to be moving around and stuff, they tell you to come to court.
Well,
Go to court.
the part of the point now, the point that
You
you're going
got
to
a
get a
charge.
permission,
You got a
you who know yourself, anytime you whether you go to your airline ambassador, now when you have these cases.
Listen now, indictment does not mean guilt. You are innocent. They're going to prove you guilty. The burden of proof is on the prosecutor. Indictment is just telling you, said this is the charge.
Now, all of these things, what we are saying, Moses, all of these things, it doesn't come in the public light. There are some folks, there are some folks that are going to be there. You either live by A or whatever it is at A.
Yeah.
The government, somebody said the government is like a father-in-law. When you beat a old man daughter, they better come to our country, tell the BSS, they say, come back home, come home. Then what you gonna do now? You let a woman now, you start baking. You can't be your mother-in-law. You do where you're gonna look, you're gonna look at a woman. So the government want to say, okay, yeah, we understand, but it's part of they always have these protocols, they always have these rules. Because of XY reason, we can't let you to go now unless it's on a strange condition. But what I'm saying, the Supreme Court said that they say the docket is full, and so they are back up. So they're going to back up that now when it involves the opposition, that's just a legitimate reason. Meanwhile, it's not going to stop the electoral process, but you get this sort of hook behind you. You can't do anything because you're focusing. When you start presenting and you go low, then they say, okay, tomorrow I call day. Where you go there, you take bomb. They say, okay, you're gonna be coming back next month. Meanwhile, the heavy money you're spending, do you still have the resources to keep that? No.
Over a period of time, it's tough. And one of the things that bothered me with the court proceedings.
Let's hear the Sherry man, Prince Sherry.
Oh my goodness.
What is it? Prince O.
Yes, sir, Mr. So.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Okay, good to have you here. Let's hear you from your heart. How this information is being processed on the other side of the world.
How you doing, Prince?
My man,
I'm doing great.
You're not friendly with Prince, man. Don't Prince. Don't mind. He want you to talk. Don't mind. When you start saying hello to Prince here tonight.
Prince, my friend. I'm going to go find him in Connecticut.
You are doing great. It's just that the news that we are getting from Liberia,
oh boy,
is not too fine.
What the news are? What is it again tonight?
Fine. The news that we are getting, especially from the home of the president, is not too fine. And I think we'll encourage Liberians to pray. We just need to be in prayer. But the news is not encouraging. I would not want to be the one, to kind of give in details, but we need to pray. Let us all pray for the president of Liberia, Mr. Joseph Numa Boyka. This is not politics. It's far, beyond politics. We need to pray for him. This is very, very important. So Liberians, wherever you are, please,
Prince,
let us for at least for one leave politics out of this.
Prince, my man, I can get right now. Hold on. What my knee, they're not even correct. I don't want to put my knee down without me praying. Without me doing what?
Okay, if I will just give you just a little information, the president traveled and he came back to the country. But unfortunately, the news that we are getting, especially this evening, relative to what happened, at his house is scary. So that's what I'm saying, that we just need to pray. Hopefully, maybe by tomorrow. I know some of this news, the executive mansion is not going to announce it, but I don't know. But Mr. So, we need to pray. That's what I'm saying. I want to be very careful not to just give out the information like that, but we need to pray. Pray for the president's health. That he's an elderly man who have traveled such a long distance, especially from here all the way to France. And from France, he had to make a very emergency stop to the UAE, but we need to pray, Mr. So you can understand what I'm saying, so we need to pray. We need to pray, especially somebody of his age traveling that particular long distance, and that he has come. And the news that we are hearing from around the security around him, this is not politics, but we need to pray for him. From what we are hearing, if care is not taken, who knows? Jeremiah Kung could be the next. I don't know, but again, we need to pray. That's why I would say we need to pray. But let's just go to the issue of this particular indictment. And before going to the indictment, again, we want to say our DPS condolences to the family of Mr. Toll. We are with him in prayers, and praying that the Almighty will be able to, fill in whatever gap that his son, are going to leave back. We are praying along with him. These are sad times for us, especially the LPR family, also Liberia. But let's keep praying. Okay. I believe that everything is in the hands of God. But relative to the issue of this indictment, Mr. So, it's unfortunate that we will sit down and not see the danger of what happened today or what continued to happen under this particular regime, and we try to, just brush it under the carpet. The first thing is, we all listened to the press conference that the asset recovery team had today, listening to it very carefully. And there was something that was very, very key in that particular press conference, which I believe you also listened to. When it came to the issue of the indictment, we found out, according to what the head said, that they have about 40 plus indictment on their dockets. And he made us to understand that there are even current government officials who are also part of this particular, in that part of this document. But what he made us to understand is that, well, they cannot disclose.
All right, we get 6 minutes to be here, so let's wrap it up as fast as we can.
So he said he cannot disclose them. Now, this is where our country continues to go down very fast. And to see that the witch hunt is visible now, that the political manipulation and trying to silence the voice of opposition, it is very visible. Nobody now will tell us that we can see it. Just within the space of 2 years, all of the people that have been hunted in that particular country are people that belong to the CDC. We saw it with the Honorable Samuel Tuet, the former finance minister.
Oh my God.
The president instructed the immigration boss to have him arrested and incarcerated as soon as he touched the soil. Completely different. That is not me saying you listening to how you call the former boss. You listening to the former boss, Steve Zago. Now they gave him a communication that prevented Honorable Samuel Tuet from leaving the country. That when he made an attempt to leave the country, he should be arrested. Neo Republican or whatever the law people call it or so. So he said, this man is coming in the country. I cannot arrest this man because he is coming. The communication that you sent is completely different. So because of that, I will not arrest this man. We saw what happened. Mr. Walker relieving off his post immediately.
Thank you so much.
We also saw what happened.
Prince, I gotta go to the next person.
The former foreign minister, where these people were collected and placed behind bars. We saw what happened to Fonati Kofa and etc. They were placed behind bars. This is an attack on the opposition. And so I want to say this in a very, very, a clear tone to people who are listening. Liberia, we have seen war. We have seen problems. We have seen suffering. We do not believe that the path on which Mr. Brecker is treading is a good path. It is not that we are afraid, but we love peace more than we love destruction. We know that Mr. Brecker, these are people who sponsor the local defense force. We do not want
Prince.
Yes, sir.
Prince, I don't have anything to what, in as much we allow people to speak their mind, to speak, we're not going to ban people, but with the issue of love, I have nothing that is network can verify that he, Joseph Boyka or Kofa or any of those people are involved in anything. So go ahead quickly here. I don't want us to go to that.
Yeah, I think Mr. Ure served as a witness to that. Mr. Ure, Benena Ure, you get a tape, you listened to it before. His very close friend, Mr. Benena Ure, said that, who was also part of the, the very close star with the NPFL. You know that very well. And some of us know because we don't want to go there, but we know at the appropriate time when we are called, we bring all of the information and give you all of the, the specificity on that particular issue. We specify it and give you all of the information at the appropriate time when we are invited to talk about that issue.
Thank you so much.
Because some of us, we know what happened there. So to conclude, Mr. Brecker needs to understand that His Excellency President Dr. George Manawia left that country in a very quiet and peaceful manner, to the extent that Liberia was then cherished, our democracy was then cherished. Evidence of what even the U.S. ambassador said before leaving our country. We want for that country to be as peaceful as it is.
Thank you so much.
Under President Weah administration.
Thank you.
But the way Mr. Brecker is proceeding, we will be forced to defend ourselves as common citizens if Mr. Brecker continue to behave in the way he is behaving. We will not allow Brecker to defend the things that we have made, and will be on an obligation to defend our democracy.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah,
all right. Thank you so much. Let me go to we're going to be wrapping up. Let me go to the last two speakers here, and then whatever you have, we can put it there. And
let me just say this thing real quick, Mr. Swab.
Moses, hold your peace. We're not going to be reactionary to these callers. We're going to call them out. I'm coming. We're going to call them out. Like what he said, different for no. We're not going to tolerate that here. We're not like whatever they can do on their own, they can do. Lion Ted, 1 minute, please, because we are already out of time before I go to the next call. Let's hear you.
Yes, thanks very much for taking the call. This is Teddy Tail Lion, Yankon from Fargo, North Dakota. We listening to the press conference of Cloud Mountain, Honorable Mayor Cloud Mountain, and from the onset, we know that this is about witch hunt, and
you say it's a witch hunt?
Yeah, it's a clear witch from Tamimura. It's been a witch hunt, and the people have seen the red flag many times.
So hold on 1 second. Was there a witch hunt when President George Weah with the Sally boys and all of that? Was that a witch hunt?
There was no witch hunt, and you saw how President Weah handled that.
They didn't go to jail.
Yeah. Well, they went to jail, but that was not really a witch hunt. It was fair. It was justification. Well, you can tell from what has ulterior motives.
Okay.
What has been so in the pocket jar. No one can tell you what was the deal Baka ever made in Italy.
Where got in what?
But you're not giving me a chance to talk to make my
no, but we're talking about Italy. What's the coronation here?
Stay with the topic, my brother.
All these things about Waka have made deal with the mafias. Waka is trying to
okay, I gotta go. Let me go to the next caller. Bye-bye.
Into civil.
In as much you're going to allow people to speak out, you can't just come here and say anything because you want to say it. That's not what the network is all about. I mean, bring out convincing point. I asked about Helen Weah and Helen Johnson. You say that one part and I wait home. it was about justice, but they want that wage. What sort of justification is that? We got to be honest here. Let's go to Clarence. Clarence, good evening.
Hey, Sio, how you doing?
Good, good. Is that wage on too?
I'm not a witch hunt. It's a witch hunt. We're 100 witches.
That's called desire.
Yeah. Yeah, that's called desire. That's where we are not forcing people. We are not arresting people on the street. We are following the process. And when we say that the law be the law, that the law be the law. All these people, all the family from CDC side are making a noise. I feel sorry for them, Mr. Soul. People who never had nothing in the past. The few simple people that live in the Swamp community. They came to power. That's why I said the last one, I said these local grown-up boys that ruled our country for 6 years, looted the country at the industrial level, and people stay in the cornerstone of protecting them. I don't see the Nigerian which everyone we should see it tomorrow for our children. But I listened to Martin the Skin on the class reloader. He said something. He said when they kids started with Finabono, when they went to the court, when Finabono turned into the Supreme Court, they asked the court to freeze the account, his money. And the Supreme Court never listened to the chief justice. They didn't listen to them until the people withdraw all the money from our account. So look at corruption activity. They get back. Those people that have been accused, they have money. They're using the money to fight back. But thank God for the president. And many people, many Nigerians, even in the United people from the United Party, many of them are not looking at what the president is looking at. The president continued to bring one key people that were in the CDC government. Let's say a few days, the president appointed the former federal minister, Jerry Cooper. And the same people from the same government, they're the one who bring their own people out and get to the slaughterhouse. The passport director now is a former NSA boss. The chief of the defense minister was a deputy chief of staff. The former chief of staff is an embassy. Key information will come when people will be prosecuted in our country. But thank God, the LACC is working along with the one, the asset recovery, because the asset recovery in the LACC, they are saying that there should be a corruption court. And the bill is already in the process, they are already submitted to the House of Senate. And if we want for that country to go forward, Mr. Soul, don't put the party sentiment aside. Those people that store their money, that we have elected, that store their money in our country, you and myself are not benefiting from it. We're here working and getting to maintain our family. A few people use the stem for cover, they get to enrich themselves and become permanent in the country. Then we are still down there getting a sharing for them. When you mention downtown tomorrow, they bring out 25 kg rice, that will be the clapping for them. And their children are going to school, their children living in the foreign country going to school. What kind of Nigeria want to see for our generation tomorrow?
Let's leave it there, Clarence. Thank you so much. Okay.
Thank you,
all right. Let's go back to on the live view to our analysts for the closing remarks. And like I said, in as much we accommodate voices here, we will not accommodate extreme. If we go beyond our own policy, then of course we'll be compelled to say something. We don't come here with emotion, sentiment. I mean, that's what always happens. The people, everybody protecting their own alligator. Yesterday it was justice, today it's not justice and stuff like that. In as much there are some legitimate concern, and we express that here. How the chairperson to be so definitive that I call people criminal, those are things we can, you can grab those pieces and express concern. With somebody saying this, do you think we're going to have a good trial when he coming up with those sort of statement? But to come this one that there's no. But let's have a conversation here before we wrap up here. Moses, I know, I'm sorry for doing the bad. Okay. I don't want us to have we are here as facilitator. We just have to exercise extra cautions with our listeners, our viewers. It doesn't mean we allow them to do what they want to do, but I don't think it's going to profit us to get into an exchange argument and all of that. But go ahead.
I wasn't looking to argue with Prince anyway. What I wanted to make clear is that we knew he was speaking out of emotions and what have you. He came here and made a comment about we need to pray, we need to pray, we need to pray. And in the same token, he gets up and you see, when you listen to him speak, he called the president of the Republic of Liberia, Mr. Boakai. But he consistently called Joseph, what is his name? Manewia, His Excellency President. So in the eyes of these guys, Mane is their president, and nobody else is president. And he repeated it, Mr. Boakai, Mr. Boakai, Mr. Boakai. And that's what I wanted to just interrupt him and correct him. Okay. That no matter what it is, you need to respect the office of the presidency, not the person that's in there. And we belittle ourselves and our leadership by doing that and having those kind of sentiment, spread all over the place like that. He constantly, and the other guy, who else came out, did the same thing. So now there's a trend with them. They come on the show and they will say, Mr. Boakai, not President Boakai, at least. But they will still call George Weah, His Excellency, President Weah. And so that's what I wanted to put in. But in order for the topic today, my brother, I think it's important for us to keep up with this. And we can have this discourse as we see the process unfolding. And I hope that everything works out for the judicial system. And we let justice take its course for whatever it means in Liberia. And I hope that, some of the things that Terry said don't come back and backfire on this sitting administration where people will start pointing their finger. It would be a disaster for our nation. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Collins.
Yeah, Mr.
Put the icing on the cake. Let's see what that Jolobo you're gonna pour there. What you gonna pour on there?
I think that Jolobo.
No, you can't put Jolobo there today. You're a pastor. You gotta pray for it.
So one give Jolobo to a congregation.
That Jolobo. You see, one of the reasons why the prophets in the Bible were killed, most of them were killed by their own people, was because they spoke the truth to power. And until we get lackadaisical in our nation to start pampering the truth, because we are afraid of how, that how people will see us, and the power that be, we not want to associate with us, our country will continue to go down the drain. I expect this government to have done things better. JMB came on the mantra that he said a fine thing, no business as usual. But the steep hill that I see us going down is almost like we're going back into the same cocoon that we were in with all the other political leaders. And power corrupts. Power can change the concept of somebody who is a good person. And until you tell them truth, they're not going to listen. But I want to debunk what he named Prince Sheriff for saying that JMB is there. He always does that. Coming talking about, got to pray for the president, something happened, blah, blah, blah. Just one day kid. Then he said the man was in Lofa different for you, get no proof on it. That's why I say anytime Prince Sheriff can, he don't have proof, he just talk. But here is the thing I want to say here. The political power in Liberia, Mr. So, is based on leverage. And I see the same thing repeating itself. Look at PYJ. PYJ was leverage. The War and Economic Crime Code were established because of PYJ to intimidate him and keep him posted. Today, Darius Dillon that used to be talking about to PYJ every now and then, we're bringing a War Crime Code, Where is it? Where is the War Crime Code? 2 years gone. The political power is based on leverage, right? Look at the speakership position. Even President Weah yesterday, the removal of Kabina Jane. Look at Samuka. That is how it has been happening. That is the same old 6 and 7 we see. And I'm praying to God for this one to not be like that. Because we have seen so much indictees and there have been no persecution. This is the fun thing. You bring the woman to book, you expose her. Yes, we all seeing it, but to what end? What is it leading to? Is it going to lead to persecution, or is it going to lead to you trying to create leverage to weaken the most formidable opposition, or the biggest opposition political party in the country? Because all these things we see happening now came as a result since the people broke ground. Since the people broke ground, you people start getting serious. We have not seen no major move from the government to persecute corrupt cases. And that is my disappointment. And that is what we must be straight enough to speak to power, to tell them, say, hey, we are not excited. For me, I'm not excited. I'm only excited when you are going to persecute on the basis of these indictments and make sure you get a conviction based upon the allegation. But you just run and say, oh, like, I know it's the near exact Republica where they can put you on, you can't leave the country until the case is adjudicated, and all the kind of thing. But then the person's stuck. They can easily exercise their political franchise in a good atmosphere. They can't speak against the government. They're restricted. That is another way of dictatorship. You see? So if we will persecute, like Clarence was talking, the woman stole. I agree, Clarence, the woman stole. But you know how many people stole? Do you know how many people in that country that is sitting down that got rich from our country, that got properties worth millions of dollars because they stole money? Guess what we're going to persecute them? The War and Economics Crimes Court that President Booker affixed his signature to, backed by an executive order that we can't hear about. Is in the dust. Since Prince Johnson died, we can't hear about it. Leverage. Are we using the power to leverage to gain political capital, or are we using the power to persecute as we said we would? Thank you very much, Mr. So.
Wow, good
Okay, guys, thank you so much. And like I said, in as much we try to accommodate voices here, people should not take that as an advantage and then just come and say anything because of politics. And that's what Lion Tail did. And the reason sometimes I allow them to talk because we need to expose these things. Because if we don't do it, if you sanction their voices, the interpretations that will goes out there is quite different. When I ask him what's about President Weah with the Helen Johnson Sally boy, he said that one our law. But this one here now is a witch hunt. That is not accurate. You don't have a point. Now there are some things, there are some pieces you should pick up from this sort of indictment and all of that. And I think Terry said it right. And that's what I say, okay, we're hearing about what's going to be the action when the Supreme Court said cases, docket is full, they're not judge. So you just indicting people. If we can't see the full conclusions and the consequences that it comes with, there is no point. So this is not about to appease the public or your base or to say for people for the other side to come and give justification. At least we're doing something. Then I'm tired and sick of at least we're doing something. We did that with Lone Star, you did where? We can't carry trophy, we did where? The referee always cheat or somebody score false penalty, we did where? We did where? It is concerning from what we are hearing. But I'm just disappointed the way the chairman, the way he went into it today, more or less when personal and calling them criminal and breaking in JFK and all that kind of thing. Now, you have a valid case based on what you get. It is wrong. It is unacceptable to hear that kind of figure, 600 million plus just in US dollar for one person. So then I would want to know how much this person worth even to this point of time. What was the business? What was the thing done to have accumulated such a huge here, and you have ordinary people to do what they are doing. So there are real things, say it as it is, present it as it is, as an investigator or whatever person, and put it out there. Let the public decide. Do not evoke public sentiment into a real national cause, because you know what? All of these people, all of them be protecting their own alligators. CDC will buy CDC people, Unity Party people will buy Unity Party people. Whoever violate the laws, it can be who. We're seeing that here. Whether something will play in later on, but I think people must be held accountable. It must be done with transparency. Now, you holding people, yeah, we have this whole thing hanging over the FOIA issue with those houses and all of that, thousands, hundreds of dollars, million per house, millions involved, and you can't get a coherent message from the government to also tell us how those things got there, who is doing what, and what is being what. We're not hearing anything. But this is the laziness of the opposition. They are unable to articulate patiently, thoroughly, and to be convincing. Everybody kind of like blood vessels just boiling. You don't have to be screaming. You have to make a case. Sit down with major news network and also make a case. Let them see the line of reasoning. But when you have these people coming and using all sort of disjointed word, put them together, and everybody, hey, it just doesn't make sense. And this is why they are not making headway. They are legitimate concern. We need to know where that money coming from. You can't be transparent with the right hand and then the left hand is corrupt. It just doesn't add up like that. You have the Ministry of Information saying one thing, the Ministry of State saying one thing, there's other person saying one thing. So who is telling what? You know, we can't question about George. We are condominium and blah blah blah, and we're seeing other those houses in Foya. They didn't fall from the sky, so they are a legitimate question relative to those things. But they who have those legitimacy to ask these questions, how many of them have the tolerance to talk about it for people to listen without them cussing, without them saying something? No, but there's a way that you can articulate. So when we're starting the first payment for our airline, Bureau of Airline.
Well, it's gonna come up soon. That very need to pray for us.
So that everything else you pray for, you think you're gonna get what to do?
They say God can listen, God got plenty of
All right, okay, guys.
We're still looking for investors.
We can do it though. It's not something that we can do. Librarians here can do it.
We need about few librarian people to put their heads together.
I hope you're not buying one plane and carry to Lofa that you displaying a small one you see.
The only Congo Lofa mayor I ever know in my life. Mr. Moses, the only Congo Lofa mayor I know. I have never seen. I lived in Lofa for 2 years. No Lofian look like him. No Lofian that
I don't know why they're not. Moses, why are they not calling you?
Why would I call you?
I don't understand.
Because he's a Congo Lofa man.
Why are they not calling you?
Because he's a Congo Lofian.
You can speak the DC or the Lama or Bandigu, you're not getting nothing until the whole air they're giving.
Let it give video. I'm not going. I will not go there when I go play for.
Oh man, Jared back on side. We can't hear you against. Anyway, let me leave my man.
It's Fagon from Lofa. That name Fagon.
No,
that's Fagon. I said back on. Back on.
Oh.
Yeah, that Fagon is. We just hope and pray that he gets better too, and hopefully he get better. He will.
Fagon not well.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, he said he's not well.
Oh wow,
well, it's true.
I will
be mature in doing things too. Anyway, guys, we want to thank you. Hopefully, we're going to do a special edition. I don't know who available tomorrow. Whatever it is, we're going to do a special edition. But definitely, we need to reach to our guys to talk to people from the judiciary or even the Ministry of Justice. Why these cases? All these cases, they are partying.
Yeah.
Why they can't be? Why there's no action?
Well, I don't want to speak for them, but I can only assume that they don't have enough prosecutors. You see, you got to understand in the AG's office. I'm not even sure if they have enough prosecutors. You can't have only 10 people to prosecute those many cases.
Right.
The docket is full and it's serious. And in judicial processes, I can tell you, I remember.
Oh,
I
guys,
don't
I
want to
gotta go.
compare it to.
It's 10:21.
Yeah, I
Where
don't
do
want to
you?
compare it, but 85% of the cases, 80 to 90% of the cases never go to trial. They're always
Yes.
negotiated.
It's bad.
Okay, a very
All right,
very
guys.
small amount go to trial. So in the preparation alone and all of that is very difficult. It's very difficult.
Let's leave it there, Moses.
Yeah, let's leave it there. We'll talk some more tomorrow. We'll save the other
I'm
number.
gonna I'm gonna call a few friends. They need to send you to national security or whatever other or something.
Well, make
I
the
think one
call.
of the agencies that is really doing well based on the what we see is this LEDA or whatever. Our guy was
LDEA.
yeah, our guy was embedded with them. They went on a operation, and I hope they will be given that really logistical support and all of the things required, and that
Right.
nobody will interfere, no matter who you are, what's your
Yeah.
position in
What?
government. The law should not just be with the underprivileged, the lower class, and then when it comes to the upper class people, then the law is flexible.
You
You
see
know, one guy say the man,
that
the
thing.
commissioner can't laugh. I say, yeah, I think he better say that no laughing in this whole thing because the
No, that's
justice is
why.
very serious thing.
That's what I want to talk about. What happened to the kingpins? I mean, we looking at people
We'll
who.
come back. We'll come tomorrow. And we'll talk about that.
Yeah, we need to talk about that. You know,
And we need to launch a fund drive. Well, how much you putting down? You who bringing the idea here now? What money? How much you putting down for all the biplane?
we'll talk about it when the time is right.
Okay, guys. Thank you so much. You have a pleasant
Thank you, Mr.
evening.
Moses.
You too.
Uh,
I called a liberal. I can't get him though. So when you
yeah,
talk to him, please let him know.
keep calling him. Yeah, I will let him know. That's the thing about him.
Yeah, I keep calling, and his answering machine is full to the point that I say in the SMM, say please call 401, but I don't know if he knows my number. That's why he won't call it. If he doesn't know it,
I think that maybe I was to him.
yeah,
You know
just
that.
tell him I've been trying to reach
That old man too. You're bear with him. Don't see him to be doing a
him.
tabata here.
Football together, so you can't call me old man.
Good night, Mose. You see, I'm trying to fight a battle now. You want any of me? Good night.
Good night.
Bye-bye. All right. Okay, folks, that does it this evening. I want to thank you so much for your time, for your tweet, your comments. Very all useful, whether they're for or against. We take these comments very seriously and we learn from it and we act upon them. And that's what we want people to understand. We need to have a venue where we can have this critical conversation, but we must be honest. But people come when a law is good for them today. If that same law goes or a flip on the other side, then it's bad. That's not the kind of country we want. So our priority should be about the country, how to sustain the country, how to make the country for things to work for the country. Because these people you're trusted in, and they don't get us anywhere. It happened in the past, it happening now, and it will continue to happen. But we as a citizen, we as a people, we all do have a shared responsibility that we can stand up to the task. We can stand up for those ills in society, even if one of those, if it's our own, and raise our finger. Yes, I support you. Yes, I am a Mario of all. Yes, I believe in your political ideology. But this one, I do not agree with you. But the concept, the mindset of each and everyone to protect his or her own alligator is just dangerous for our country. And we need to stop these innuendos, these fake news, these false news creates unnecessary tension and all of that. Don't come and speak with ambiguity and that people here are going to be scratching. We don't have anything to hide. If you show off your information, say it. We'll verify it. And if it is validated, we will speak to it. We do not want to waste people time who take up their time. They can be at work, should be having their family time, but they come here. This is not Roxy or cinema or Sheila Cinnamon of yesterday to just for entertainment. It's a news outlet, and people show out here to take away something, to learn something, and we learn from them as well. But when people come here to moderate stuff because of political reason, political purposes, only simply because it doesn't go in their favor, then it's illegal. But when it is in their favor, then it's legal. I think we need to stop that, and that's how polarized and the belligerent the divide of our country. We are a part of it. It's just not only politicians. We are co-collaborators, and you who collaborate with something to you are in support of it, whether it's good or bad. And this is where LPR bridge the gap. We intend not to do it. We might not be 100%. No one is infallible, but we'll try to give this honest conversation. Whether we agree or disagree with you, we allow you to speak your mind, to give your voice, but do not abuse that and do not see that as a weakness on the part of this network. We accommodate the voices because it's a national conversation, and we want each and everyone to participate. What are you calling in? What are you are on online giving your tweet? It is important that we do that. We need to sit around the table. We need to have this conversation and sort out these things that are dangerous for our country and put in a fill in the gap for those that are good, for the good of the country. Because you know why? All of those people, they will fade away. One thing that will still remain standing, it is the country, the Republic of Liberia. So the country is not an issue. The inhabitants of the country, they are the president. They are the problem. They are the problem. Where is Samuel Doe? Where is the other people? How many of us have not put our trust in these people, and what becomes the end result? The answer, when we come back during the week, you will tell us and we can have a conversation. Until then, folks, I want to thank you so much. But in the meantime, tomorrow, we will be Osa. We will be Osa. The Putu Apoliable Group, they are in my own state, the ocean state of Rhode Island. Tonight is the welcome. I miss it, but tomorrow I'm going to put on my safari.
Ceremony. Save the date. The event is happening this November 8, 2025 at Joan Pablo Duty, 100 Nigara Street, Providence, Rhode Island. John, the United for Development and Community Empowerment Movement, as we celebrate unity, culture, and leadership. The Putu.
All right, the president from the Midwest, from North Dakota, Tina Wehrman, will be inaugurated. What we are hearing in a colorful ceremony. Tomorrow we are taking our red cup. Too much work without a playmaker, Jack, a door boy. Who they indict, who they not indict. I'm not going to allow my blood pressure to go or my cholesterol to go up. I'm going to have a fun, and then we'll come here to all have this sort of conversation. Mr. Zia Mamulu, thank you so much. Rich, how are you? Oh, I love that your birthday's dance. Man, I didn't know that you can dance. We'll put a competition the day I come to PA. Maurice Gay, thank you so much. Call with me, Collie. Good to have you here. Insurmountable Vent, what's up? Emmanuel T.I. watching from Bomi County this morning. Thank you so much. And this is where it is. You know, people out, not that they don't have anything to do, but they want to listen to see what is going on in their country and how they can help to get things going. So it is important when we come to this conversation, we must be authentic, we must be genuine, not for politics. Willie Ted, is that Willie Ted? Dema? Oh, I hope I'm calling his name here. If not, please pardon me. Today is Friday, too much going on. Thank you so much for being here. Until then, folks, by God's willing, again, if you have your business here in Liberia or here, if you have a planned event, no matter where you are, let us know. LPR will help to tell your narrative, and that's what we do. We don't just focus on government. We come back to provide services to our community. We don't just want to ask for money and just beg for it. We want to provide you with services, and then you pay us. That way, it's balanced. Until then, by God's willing, we'll be back here. Have a pleasant, happy weekend. Please stay safe, drive safe, save late, do what you're supposed to do, and we'll be glad to have you back here. Leave your comments, your suggestion as to how we can enhance what we do here. We are not there yet, but we will get there with your support. Just be honest with us. Where we're falling short, let us know, and we can build on that. Thank you so much, and have a pleasant evening. Bye-bye.